I don't know where you've been, but you're gonna respect this courtroom. My life has proven that it's not about where you come from, it's about where you're going. From a jailed youth who had my record expunged to becoming the youngest judge elected.
The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding.
In just 15 years. Ma'am, let me know when you want to go to rehab. Otherwise, I think you're a crackhead.
Absolutely not.
My goal is to inspire others to overcome their obstacles. You don't need him and his little raggedy roommate.
Thank you.
All while having a little fun on Mathis Court. You look like you're ready to lie right the first word out your mouth. This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Jeff Matthews is suing Erica Winston in the amount of $700. Mr. Matthews claims his ex-girlfriend made unauthorized charges to his credit card after their breakup and says Miss Winston needs to pay up in full.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may be seated. All litigants have been sworn in.
Thank you. State your name, sir.
Your Honor, my name is Jeff Matthews.
Ma'am?
Your Honor, my name is Erica Winston.
All right, and sir, you are suing for $700, alleging Miss Winston owes you this money for credit card for ride-sharing charges, correct?
Yes, sir.
Start with you. Give me some background here.
So basically, when I met Miss Erica Winston, we met about a year, back in 2019 we met, and it was a loving situation. We met at a bar, and we talked for a while. We became friends for about a year, and then 6 months moving forward, we became super intimate with each other. And
what do you mean by super?
Meaning
What's the difference between regular and super?
We started loving a lot more.
You're a high-powered freak?
We started loving a lot more.
You got these levels. These are the levels. You're intimate. That's just kind of regular kissing and hugging and
oh no, we was
touching.
thumping and bumping.
Then you got very intimate. That typically involves some form of sexual activity. Then you got very, very intimate. That involves some freaking of some type. And then we got, what did you refer to yours as?
Super.
Super! There you go. That's what you meant there. Say it what it is, super freak.
Yes, yeah.
All right. Go ahead. You all became super intimate.
Yes,
How long? At what point? Give me the year.
So back in 2019 is when, we became super freakish
super
with
intimate.
each other.
I like
super
that
freakish
term.
with each other.
Go ahead.
And then, she came to me as we're talking. We in this stage when she said, "Hey, I'm my lease is getting ready to come up." And I said, "Wow, that's so funny. My best friend William is actually moving out of my place, which I had an apartment, a 3-bedroom apartment." And I said, "Hey, you know what? We've been rocking with each other for a while now, about a year and a half, a little bit longer. Why don't we make this official?" I became super vulnerable to her. She became vulnerable to me. And I said, "Let's make this official, and you can move in with me." And then at that point...
That's official for you? That's not what women think you're talking about when you say, let's make this official.
Well, she said
move in so I can have you every day any kind of way without any commitment. You think that's what women think when you say official? No. They mean put a ring on it.
Yeah, well...
That's what official means. Don't tell no woman to make nothing official unless that's what you're about to make.
Absolutely.
A legal official stand or step.
Yeah,
so you didn't tell him, let's make this official. Is that what he said to you?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you were waiting on the ring after that, weren't you? It had to be.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely.
Tell
I was
me
waiting.
how it went. You give me your version of things.
So I first moved in beginning of 2019 in September to Van Ness, California. And I haven't moved to my children yet. I have 2 kids with another man whom lives in Las Vegas. So I moved to California looking for an opportunity. I stayed at a friend's house for a little bit. And then I did get my own place, but only 6-month lease. And during that time is when me and Jeff met at a bar. And when I first walked in the bar, there's many, attractive guys, but something about him that kind of grabbed my attention. He was all into himself, meaning he was enjoying his own company, but I can see that things were, in the back of his head.
Somehow you felt he had that super duper. You said he got that super duper over there. Go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. So yeah, and then I was sitting across the table of his. I was also there for the same reasons. I just wanted to clear my mind and kind of sit with myself. And he approached me, and we exchanged some good words, and things got, very friendly. And for a year, we became great friends to the point we became best friends. So after that year, that's when my lease was kind of like coming to an end now, because I moved into the other apartment. And he said, why don't we make this, as he, earlier said, official? And I thought that it was going to escalate to marriage, so I was absolutely astonished. And I said, okay. So after I moved in, things were absolutely great, Your Honor, up until I walked into him having an intense conversation with my kid.
Coming up on Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
The conversation felt like it was man to another man instead of a father figure and a son. Every time he wants to do anything, he does it without having a perimeter. He never speaks to his son in the way that I caught him speaking to mine.
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878.
You're watching Mathis Court with Judge Mathis. This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Mathis Court is back with a case of Jeff Matthews, who is suing Erica Winston for $700.
Intense conversation. Describe that. What do you mean?
So I moved my kids here. They just barely came from Vegas because it was my turn to take the kids. And once they walked in there, he kind of set a perimeter of like house rules and things like that. At first I was okay with it because he's playing a man role, and I appreciated that. But I was also playing the role of a woman in there too. So I clean, I cook, and I do a lot of things in the house. I also work outside.
You do more than him then.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And one time I
two
was...
or three jobs. Cooking is one job, cleaning is a job. Then you say you work outside
Yes, sir.
also? You
Yes,
work
sir.
3 jobs.
I
How many
guess
did
so,
he
too.
work?
Exactly, Your Honor.
How many did he work? You went shopping too.
Yes.
Yes,
That's
she
4
did.
jobs. How many
Yes, Your
did you
Honor.
work?
I worked every job.
I said how many? Ooh, he can't.
One,
He
Your
don't even
Honor.
know how to respond.
One, Your
Every.
Honor.
I didn't say how every. I said how many.
He worked 1, but he comes home and
yeah.
rubs it into my face.
I'm clear now. I'm clear now.
There you
That
go,
was
Your
a very
Honor.
basic question, and he answered it very oddly.
Yes, Your
Go
Honor.
ahead. So,
And-
what was happening with your son?
So when I walked in and I was very tired from work, and I'm a personal assistant, Your Honor, I get to deal with people every day, so I know how to speak to either adults or teenage or little kids. So when I walked in there, the conversation felt like it was man to another man, and instead of a father figure and a son. And I asked what the whole thing was about, and my son was standing there just very scared, and I don't know how he was going to react. And then he said, your kid over here, he walks around the shoe without taking the shoes off the house. And he opened the fridge, Your Honor. He opened the fridge and drank a juice, and he had a big issue about that, Your Honor. Every time he wants to do anything, he does it without having a perimeter. He never speaks to his son in the way that I caught him speaking to mine. He cares for him. He takes
serious
care
right
of
now?
him. Yes, he takes care of him and everything. But he never speaks to him the way he
Explain what
does.
your son did.
He drank juice out of the refrigerator, and
Your
he's
Honor.
upset because his mouth touched the tip of the juice box, and he put it back in.
Your Honor, her son, he specifically went in the refrigerator, took the carton of juice, Tropicana, my favorite, the strawberry flavor.
It's not even orange juice.
Took the carton, deliberately looked at me, opened the carton, put his mouth on it as if he don't care. He steps over me. I look at it as like, hey man, I'm
What
the
do you
man.
mean step over you?
Like as if he's stepping over, like man, this is my house. I run this thing. And in my head, I'm like, man, let me go over there because that was once me at a point.
Did he
let me
verbally
go over
say
there and
that
have
to
a
you?
conversation. Let me go over there and have a conversation with him. I said, hey Josh, listen, man. In life, let me teach you a life valuable lesson. In life, when you come into a new space and a new area, you want to have respect for yourself and the space that you're living in.
Correct.
Your Honor.
And just all around. I said, you don't go in the refrigerator and just take the carton and put your mouth on it.
But this is his home now.
You don't, and I never said it wasn't his home. This is our home. I never said it wasn't his home. I want him to feel comfortable there. If I didn't want him to feel comfortable there, I would have never had the conversation with him.
Why don't you speak to him the way you speak to your son then?
If you notice, my son, like you said, is well-mannered. He's well-mannered, he's very respectful, he's very
So you're
sheltered.
telling me that I don't know how to raise a child, and I have
I
two,
never
Your
say
Honor.
you don't know how to
I have
your,
two children
your children
that
are
I
terrible.
raised.
That's what it is. And I got tired of it.
I raised
You
these
never
children on
put
my
your
own.
foot down.
Well,
You never
should
put your foot down.
Share some of that blame with their father, though. You don't raise them 100%. So the bad part came from him. That's what you need to say.
Exactly.
The bad part came from their dad when they stayed with him. But when they come with you, they're right. And so you should just say it. That's from his dad. The dad is no good. Don't say it around the kids that the dad didn't know how to raise them properly. But now that they're here with me, we're gonna work on it. But let's be delicate about it. However, ma'am, one thing I heard that was very concerning that has a specific signal that child was sending if he looked at him. He grabs it, looks him in his face, and drinks it in his face.
Slowly, Your Honor,
I
very
walked
slowly.
in the middle of this conversation. He did not look him into his face or anything.
No,
How
he
would
just
you know
grabbed
if
it.
you walked in?
He just
walked
grabbed
in with
it.
ma'am.
I know my son, Jeff.
Ma'am, you said you walked in when they were talking, and he was talking to him sternly. That's when you first saw. What you didn't see is the reason he was talking to your son sternly, and because he says your son insulted him at the highest level by looking at him, grabbing something he knew he wasn't supposed to do, and doing it right in his face.
Isn't there any ways to speak to him than the way that I caught them speaking, Your Honor?
Tell me what you heard.
Your Honor, he literally said, as a man, you're never going to walk into my house like that. You don't drink in my house like that. You don't do things in my house like that. I understand. And this boy, ever since, it's only been a month.
What else? That's it?
No, Your Honor. He just told me, you're a big man, and I want you to act like a big man.
Okay, he said nothing wrong to your son. I don't know where you coming from.
You know
Not one thing I heard you say was abusive at all. It was a man who felt violated by his child figure. I didn't want to call him his child, stepchild, but the essence of it, he's living under his household as a child.
Absolutely.
And who has a partnership with his mother, which in some cases people will refer to, whether it's marriage or not, his stepson. So him chastising his stepson or the child living under his roof because he felt, as I do, that if that child addressed him like that and violated him like that, that was the height of disrespect coming from a child, yes, he deserved a strong, stern talking to, and I'm glad that's all you did.
Coming up,
She said, I don't need you. I don't need any of your help. I don't need this. I don't need to be here, nothing. I said, okay, be stern on your words that you're using me. She said, you know what, we're done. I said, okay, then we're done.
You're watching Mathis Court with Judge Mathis. This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Mathis Court is back with a case of Jeff Matthews, who is suing Erica Winston for $700.
The only reason I was upset is because the tone, I understand with your saying that the vocabulary that came out of his mouth might be correct as a man, but the tone was not right. My son he might have imitated him in the way that he said it, but he was terrified when I walked in there.
Do you ever see my son
He didn't know if he was
drinking off the
going to
carton?
physically punish him or anything like that. This boy was terrified.
Your
And
Honor,
that's
my
not what I
son-
wanted. I wanted him. I loved him. I moved in. And we were thinking of this at a bigger space than that, because I wanted marriage. I wanted bigger things together.
Well, we can't get to marriage unless you set standards with your
I only mentioned
kids.
once, Your Honor. I mentioned once. I said, I don't like the way you spoke to my son.
So, in this case, you're suing, however, about a ride share
Yes.
on the credit card after you all broke up. Tell me about the breakup, and then we'll move quickly to the ride share.
So basically, after that conversation we had, as she verbally attacked me in front of her kid, in front of Joshua, let me be precise, and she was disrespecting me, I then said, you know what? I'm gonna leave it for what it is. She said, I don't need you. I don't need any of your help. I don't need this. I don't need to be here, nothing. I said, okay, you make sure that you be stern on your words that you're using me. I walked away. And then at that point, she said, you know what, we're done. I said, okay, then we're done. At that space, we were in our last month on my lease. We're in our last month on my lease. And then everything, once you tell me that you don't need me and you don't need my help, anything, everything cuts off. Once you tell me we're done and you break up with me, and I gave you my heart and my all.
Coming up,
Actually, Your Honor, it never necessarily came out of me. He's the one who said, we're done if this is how you're going to treat me. And I did say those things like, I don't need you, I don't need no man, I cannot be here. But when he said he's done, I didn't think it was coming to an end, Your Honor.
You're watching Mathis Court with Judge Mathis. This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Mathis Court is back with a case of Jeff Matthews, who is suing Erica Winston for $700.
And I opened my home to you, and you know the situation that we are coming from. You are the first lady I spoke to ever since my son's mother passed away from brain cancer. You know the situation I'm in. I've opened my heart to you. And this is how, and all I asked was just some form of respect. I never said this home isn't his home. I opened my home. I gave your kids their own room. And this is how you do me? You break up with me because I was having a conversation, not even stern, because I don't even talk to my child like that. Your kids consistently bully my child because he wears glasses. Yana, you wear glasses, right? Have you ever been bullied about it?
Let's leave that alone.
And her kids were constantly...
Moving right along. I only started wearing glasses when I was in law school.
Oh, man.
Before that, I was the bully. Go ahead.
And I treated them with the utmost respect and love. I had nothing but love to give.
All right, so what do we have about this card? How does she owe you for that?
So basically, our last month, once she told me, we're done, we're not together, I don't need your help, and she consistently threw it in my face, nonstop. I said, make sure you choose your words wisely. She said, we're done. Cool. So that last month, in August, which I have it right here, she then goes from August 1st to August 31st, she goes and spends $700 on my card, on rideshare, which that should have never happened.
Ma'am?
Your Honor, for rideshare histories, you can actually put it up and see where I went and how I used it. When he gave me that we're done, actually, Your Honor, it never necessarily came out of me. He's the one who said, we're done if this is how you're going to treat me. And I did say those things like, I don't need you, I don't need no man, I cannot be here. But when he said he's done, I didn't think it was coming to an end, Your Honor.
How will Judge Mathis rule? Find out when Mathis Court returns.
You're watching Mathis Court with Judge Mathis. This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
I loved this man. I moved with every bit of vulnerability I had.
Unfortunately, and your guess was wrong.
Right.
And he did mean it, so I must grant him his judgment.
So
you all weren't together when you used this card.
Yes,
you just
but
thought.
he never, Your Honor, actually, when we were using the rideshare, he's the one who actually physically put the card.
We're talking about the one for the month that he wasn't involved, ma'am. We're talking about
after the breakup?
Yes.
Yeah,
after the breakup.
he still had the card in my rideshares, and he never told me not to use it.
I understand that,
Yes,
ma'am,
sir.
but you had broken up. The assumption would be that you would stop using
I had to look for
Have a good day. You weren't married, ma'am. That's what happens when people move in together and they mix everything up, and then suddenly it's time to break up, and the person keeps doing something here, doing something there. You can't go to court because you're not married. Can't get an emergency separation order, which says who can do what and who's entitled to what until the divorce comes. So it's just whose property is whose. And in this case, you used his property after you were no longer associated with him. Have a good day. 700 is your judgment. Bye-bye.
Judge Mathis has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $700.
It is what it is. I'll take a cashier check. Appreciate you.
You know what? You don't have me. You're just gonna have your money.
That's okay.
Done with this.
Appreciate you.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.